What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much for tuning in. It's me, Mikey Pipes. Wednesday, March 27th, 2024. I just finished a service call. I did not make an intro for it, but we have a Trane XR80 gas-fired furnace, and we have a house that's 53 degrees. I have a lot of interaction with the homeowners that were alongside me during the entire service call. I show step by step the troubleshooting from the inducer assembly to the gas valve to the hot surface igniter. So if you are an experienced tech or an apprentice in the HVAC field, you need to watch this video. And let me get your thoughts and feedback. And I doubt criticism, but you never know, in the comments section down below when you're done watching. If you haven't done so already, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to get post notifications when I drop a video. Let's get going!
Thank you so much for coming.
My pleasure, sir.
All right.
And you have no heat?
Yeah, so it happened yesterday in the morning. It was working, but then like around 6 p.m.
Okay.
It's just cold air coming out.
What do you have, a furnace?
Yeah.
Okay, in the basement? Let's go see the furnace.
Okay. Do you mind if we go around? Because
sure.
There's a bill.
So what happens when we turn the heat on? Nothing?
So there is air coming out, but it's cold air coming out.
Okay, so let's turn that on. And let's set this to... Why doesn't want to go up or down? Oh, there we go.
Dad, can you open the door from that side?
All right, and let's hit hold. Nice. I like you have yourself a little gated compound here. Very nice.
Right.
I smell gas, by the way.
I know.
You smell gas too?
Yeah, I love it.
How long have you noticed that smell of gas?
I would say a month now.
A month?
Yeah.
How long have you lived here?
2002 or 5.
Okay. You had the furnace installed?
It was there already when we got the house.
Okay. Who installed the water heater? Home Depot?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
Recently?
About, when did we get it done? Maybe 2 years ago.
2 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything about it is wrong.
Is that right?
Yes. So number one,
okay.
I'm a big advocate for people, the right to fix.
Okay.
Right? Let's say you're mechanically inclined, and you have, like, say a furnace, for example.
Right. You're
mechanically inclined. Take it upon yourself to make the repairs, if you're able to, right? But imagine you're not mechanically inclined, and you hire a professional, or who you think is a professional, and they don't do that, and they don't do the right job. So I'm a big fan for safety. So if you're going to do something, as long as you're not jeopardizing yourself and the occupants of the house, okay, I'm okay with that, right? However, if you were to be standing here, with the laundry stuff here, and the water heater should malfunction, you're going to get blasted with scalding hot water. Okay. The reason for that is because there's no drip leg on the temperature and pressure relief valve. And by code, right? There's code for a reason. Sometimes it makes no sense. Okay. Like, why can I not use plastic? Why can I not use plastic instead of, steel accordion dryer vent on a gas dryer? There's a reason for that, because a gas dryer can potentially get hotter with exhaust temperatures than electric will, and that will melt if it was plastic. Right. The same reason why do they have specify a pipe that goes no less than 6 inches and no more than 1 pipe diameter off the floor, because if it opens, you're going to get hurt. Number two, this is wrong, and the flex on here. But most importantly, this exhaust pipe, which I get, the last one had a 3-inch pipe here, right? This is 4-inch, by the way. The last one had it, but it doesn't make it was right. Just because you took out something, put it back the same way it was, doesn't mean it's right. Okay. Here, my biggest concern with this, over everything, forget about the gas flex on the gas, forget about the flexible water lines, because the worst thing that happen, this will break and it'll flood out the basement. Okay. This could possibly,
happened before.
Yes, this could possibly kill you. right? Because this is a 40,000 BTU, and you need to have 4-inch smoke pipe like this is for the furnace. But under 40,000 BTUs, you can use 3-inch. Right, but I'm not aware of any water heaters that use under 40 now of these days. This is 2024. I'm not aware of any water heaters that use under 40,000 BTUs of it's right there. This is 38,000. Okay. But the code is 4-inch. That's my biggest concern, because if there ever was a drafting issue or a chimney issue, right, the exhaust gases when this runs will be coming out of there and could possibly kill you with carbon monoxide.
Is that right?
Okay, so I'm done with that spiel.
Okay, so it has to be a bigger pipe, basically.
Yes, going into the chimney.
Okay.
Yep. And let's just see how that chimney looks, by the way. Crazy. All right, let's take off the bottom door, which is the blower compartment. And let's just do a visual inspection of everything. 2003, a new install. Wow, yeah, 102803, new install Trane XR80, furnace with humidifier, the turbo mister. And then in 4, whatever that is, something happened there, turned off water. And then over there, adjusted to 210 something. I don't know. But, oh, you had the insulation here at one point, and it's all gone.
What is that?
The insulation of the, there was something on there, yeah. Yeah. The filter's clean?
Yeah, I mean,
You just changed it. Yeah. You know, if I had $1 for every time someone, I just changed it, I would probably be close to a millionaire.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I just change it maybe a month
We feel
ago.
embarrassed if it's like so dirty.
Yeah. All right. The motor. Okay. Not terrible. All right. Not bad. Let's look on the other side. A little bit of dust, but nothing terrible. Okay. Now, the last person who was here didn't put it in the right orientation. We'll do that later. All right, so first things first, we'll do some identification purposes for training. That's the purpose of me recording, by the way. This black thing that I'm spinning is connected to our inducer assembly. This job, it's basically a motor. It's a blower. Its job is to suck in air from these burners here inside the furnace. It's called the heat exchanger, and then up and out to your chimney. You see all this rust on here? That's caused by condensation or condensate or the exhaust gas, which has some vaporized condensate, which is not water, but it looks like water, but it's not, is starting to leak there. So you have water damage there. That's what that's caused by. You have some burning marks, charred marks on your inducer assembly. But this runs, and when this runs, the pressure switch senses the pressure that it's generated by the inducer assembly, and the pressure switch, which is an electric switch, will close once it knows this is running. So let's say, for example, this was not running. The machine doesn't know, right? But the machine knows that there's not any pressure at the pressure switch, and it will prevent the furnace from running. This is a gas valve. We have 2 wires going into it, which is 24 volts. So once all the safety circuit is good, the gas valve will energize and the gas will flow to the burners. And then as long as we have a means of ignition, that will ignite the gas. This rectangular shape thingamajiggy on the front here with the 2 wires, that's called a plenum limit switch. It senses high temperature. So should the blower stop working, the furnace is going to overheat, right? It could actually theoretically burn down, but that will sense that, and it will break power to the gas and allow the gas to turn off, and until the system cools off. This is a rollout switch. So flame was here. It's going to turn off the furnace. There's another one right there as well. We have a hot surface igniter at the end of these 2 lines, and then we have our flame sensor there. That's all the components of the ignition system. Here on the bottom half, we have our door switch, right? So if I push this in and the switch is on, it'll do something. That's a control board, and behind that is our blower motor, which moves the air. So when we were talking about how unsafe the water heater is, and don't lose sleep over it at night, but now that you know, you should take corrective action. Number one, I was taking a closer look at the penetrations of the 4-inch pipe and the 3-inch pipe going through the foundation wall of the house where the base of the chimney is. That's not solid at all. You know, if there's ever something wrong with the chimney, it collapses upon itself, there's a blockage in the chimney, a bird's nest, something like that, all the exhaust gases from the furnace and the water heater are going to come to this basement. And if they're not right where they should be, you have carbon dioxide coming into your house, and then you may not wake up in the morning. Okay. Let's turn this on. And so while we were talking about this, we heard this thing come on. So the click is the relay. The relay is telling the inducer assembly to run. And once that pressure switch senses pressure there, the rest of the sequence should start. So we're going to hold this down. And if need be, I'll wrap this with some tape to push it in for testing purposes. But let's see what happens. But I could tell you this: the reason why I smell gas is emulating from this area right here.
Because
No,
there was a time.
Yes.
So I call another company.
Okay.
And it's not flaming here.
Yes, correct.
Because of the dust, according to
The dust? No.
Yeah.
No.
That's what they said.
They're trying to clean up, and after suctioning it, the flame came up, and that's the time it is used.
Okay, we're flashing there. We're just continuously flashing.
Okay.
That's okay. Let's see if it does that again. What I think is happening is that, again, I just got here. We're just starting our troubleshooting procedures, but I think that maybe the gas valve is being told to open. Let's see. So it's just turned off. Okay, with the click of the relay for the blower. And let's see. This should be energized. This is your hot surface igniter, so it should get 110 volts. And shortly thereafter, you'll hear a click of the gas valve. And that should be letting gas to ignite, but I think that's the step that we're stuck at. Again, there's that click. And there's that smell of gas. So let's turn this off. Let's turn the power off as well. And let's confirm. All right, we got our multimeter to read volts in AC current. We have the 2 wires going to the gas valve disconnected, and I have the door switch taped off. Let's turn power on. Click of the relay on the control board. 110 volts is going to our inducer assembly. Once the pressure switch sees that pressure and the high limit and the 2 rollouts are okay, and our high temperature limit sensors is not open on safety, we'll get 24 volts to the gas valve. Let's wait and see what happens. 27 volts to the gas valve. So we are getting power to the gas valve. Next is, why are we not getting any glow on our hot surface igniter? All right, we disconnected the Molex connector going to the hot surface igniter. So this is going from our control board. And the multimeter is set to read voltage still. Turn power on. Inducer motor will come on. And let's wait. There it is. So we're getting 113 volts. Ooh, that was kind of odd right there. So now it's doing a purge. Maybe that power cycle wasn't long enough, but we did get voltage there. Now let's test resistance across our hot surface igniter and see if that's good. So we have 60. Oh, we had 60 something. Open line on our hot surface igniter. Well, let's take the hot surface igniter out because it looks like that's dead. All right, so there's the damaged hot surface igniter. Oh, wow. Right there. So that's the failure. And that's the reason why we don't have any ignition.
Maybe it's just dirty.
Yeah.
It looks kind of burnt though.
It is, yes. Yeah. So during I don't know when the last time we had maintenance on this was. I think you had made reference. So I was really, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was trying to.
I think it was 2 years
Yeah.
ago.
So one of the things that should be done during an annual maintenance of your HVAC system is that a thorough inspection of the equipment.
Oh,
You know, if you're paying someone like, yeah, once in a while, like I'm a homeowner as well, you know, you get a postcard in the mail, you know, ABC Mechanical, you know, does heating, is going to offer a tune-up for $50 or $100. And do you actually think that they're actually testing everything for $50 or $100? No. But during a maintenance of a heating appliance, you know, we test, you know, like we could test, like how I showed you just on video. We test the component and it should give you a certain reading. This was giving us nothing, open line, because it's cracked, right? The same way I could test the pressure that the pressure switch reads with certain equipment. And I could tell you if this is on its way out or not. I could tell you if there's something wrong with the pressure switch or not. And that strengthens, you know, the need for maintenance, including, you know, checking your filter every 30 days. You know, you only have heating here on this system. So if you check it, you know, every couple, you know, every 3, 4, or 5 weeks during the heating season, and when it's dirty, you change it. Right?
Yes, we just changed it,
Yes.
the filter.
Yes, I know. I know.
Constantly,
Yeah.
because my husband was telling me, oh, it's due to the filter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, okay, yes. So if let's say, for example, the filter here is filthy. I you know, forget about if I had $1 every time I just changed the filter. No, if I had a penny for every time someone said, "What filter?"
Oh, they don't know.
Right? I wouldn't be nowhere near a millionaire, but I have a lot of pennies. Right? So that's okay. The purpose of a filter is to keep the ductwork and the system clean, right? When you have a dirty filter, try to breathe through a mask. Right. It's all hard, right? So imagine running a marathon wearing a mask. You can't, because the mask is restricting your airflow. If I restrict airflow in a furnace, right, that high temperature sensor right there is gonna get too hot. It's gonna turn the furnace off, and then it'll what we call short cycle. It'll run for a little bit and turn off. Run for a little bit and turn off. Run for a little. Here it wasn't even running at all. So your husband was wrong, but you need to keep the filters clean. All right, you're gonna see something pretty cool now. Okay, I'm gonna turn power on. Okay, turn the light off. And I'm gonna shield just in case something shatters, but look what's happening. See that?
It's turning up.
Yep. Look. You see this? Look at the screen. Don't look at the thing in case it shatters. You never know. But that is what lights the gas. So this is called a hot surface igniter. Okay, I don't know if you have an electric stove, cooktop, right? You have the heating elements that take forever to heat up, right? It's right, like gas. So this operates in the same principle. It gets voltage, 110 volts, and it turns cherry red, and that is sitting in the flame or the gas, and that ignites the gas. So yours, which is cracked and damaged, right, wasn't energizing. Right. Okay. And fortunately, I've seen these where they get cracked in such a way where it takes something with it. Oh. The control board, the motherboard.
Oh no, that's
all right.
That's expensive.
Yeah. I don't even have to ask you what the definition of expensive is. It is not cheap. It is not cheap. Now, overall, so that was a new part I put in for testing. I'll give you the price for that in a minute. Right. Overall, listen, the furnace, you know, looks its age. You know, if you were in a colder climate, let's say you're further up north, like in Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, you'd be well beyond life expectancy of the furnace. Okay, but because you're in New York, you're only using it maybe parts of October, November, December, January, February, right? You're still using it for a good 6 months out of the year, but you're not using it like from like end of September to like May, right? No. So it's something to consider. Since the furnace is from 2004, it is 20 years old. It is something to consider. Is this repair that we're doing here like worthy of a discussion to replace it? That's up to you. If you need it, like once we fire this up, we're going to look at the flames and make sure they don't bounce around when the blower comes on, because that's a whole nother thing. But overall, it's not bad condition. Like if this was my own, I would budget in the next year or two to replace it. It was my own, based on what I see right now. We still got to get it to heat your home, right? But right now, we just have a hot surface igniter that we need to replace. I'm going to put that in. I'm going to continue my testing, and then we'll go over what the damages are and how much it's going to hurt you today. Okay. Okay? All right. So the roundness of this hot surface igniter would not fit the bracket that is holding it. So I used a step bit, and I made it a little bit larger. Now we're going to secure the hot surface igniter to the mounting bracket and then install it. All right, my hot surface igniter is re-secured and the tip is not touching anything. Also, I exercise care if any of the oils from your finger touch that. Touch this.
Lock nuts.
Oh yeah, good, because I noticed it fell off before. And when the oil from your hands, fingers, when it touches this, it will accelerate the wear and tear, and it'll burn off and it'll damage it relatively quickly. So don't touch it with your fingers. And one of them fell off. So let's put that back on. Yeah. All right, the ceramic wire nuts that comes with the White Rogers hot surface igniter, they didn't want to hold, so I used the Wagos 2 conductor lever connectors, 221. And everything else is good. Let's fire up. All right, kill the light. You should see that glow shortly. There it goes. Here comes that glow. Now, the million-dollar question is, does our gas valve energize, and do we have ignition without any other problems? And then, when the blower kicks on, here comes our gas. There you go. There you go. Oh, you're like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Now you're cooking with gas. Yep. So we want to watch these flames when the blower comes on and make sure there's no wobble in any of them. Make sure our heat exchanger is good, and then we'll do a little test on that as well. Once it gets warm enough inside, the blower will come on. Here comes the blower. We'll get that in a minute. All right, not too shabby. All right, no, it's not a boiler, but I got a little sticker on there, emergency switch for the heating, and in case it's not me here in the future, they'll know I was here. If you ain't testing, you're guessing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, service call is done. There's a few things I didn't do on video, and that was number 1, a combustion analysis. Number 2, testing gas pressure coming out of the gas valve. And number 3, checking for a cracked heat exchanger. I have plenty of videos on this. I want to keep it short. I want to show that we verified the source of the gas smell when we entered into the basement, made the corrections to the hot surface igniter, and I showed you step by step on what to check for. So hopefully if you found this educational, if you learned something, smash that thumbs up button. Consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. And don't forget to check out the Mikey Pipes Orlando YouTube channel. I have a giveaway on yesterday's video that's going to be announced on Friday, where you're going to be able to get some Pipe Doctor swag for the Orlando operation. It's a pretty good video where we diamond cut a 20-foot across a double 2-car driveway to replace not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 irrigation lines, all Schedule 80, 1-inch underground. Customers happy. Homeowners not getting any fines from the HOA because the grass was dying. But check it out on the Mikey Pipes Orlando channel. Thank you so much for watching. Be well. God bless. Stay safe.